Good morning, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erica with Memory Box Candle Co. and I make videos all about making and selling candles. And I really hope you guys cannot hear my car being on right now or my AC on. It's warming up a lot more, and I know I always tend to get overheated in my car when I have it off and I have the windows rolled up. So I'm trying something different, so I really hope it doesn't bother you guys in the background. But I am currently waiting to pick up my curbside pickup order from California Candle Supply, and I have to go do that in about 10-15 minutes. So you will probably see me a little bit later on at a different point in this video, because I'll have to take down the camera, set it back up once I get my supplies that I'm picking up. But I am actually going to be doing a little Q&A in today's video. I asked you guys over on Instagram yesterday to basically ask me anything. So nothing in specific, just basically anything and everything you guys wanted to ask me. So I am going to pull that up right now, and then we will get right into the questions. So these are in no particular order. I'm just kind of picking them out through all the questions that I received. I received probably over 100. I don't know. There's a lot of questions, so I'm going to try to get through as many as I can. So first question is, what has been your biggest challenge with your business as a whole and how you overcame it? I honestly think that the hardest part with my business is understanding the financial side of it and trying not to get overwhelmed with all of the legalities of it. So if you guys may or may not know, I recently incorporated my business. And this part has been very challenging for me because I feel like I'm kind of just alone in this, and I'm trying to deal with all of the newness of it. It's very hard to explain, but I feel kind of like overwhelmed, to say the least. But it's just a huge change, and I feel like getting to the point where you're really trying to make sure that you have everything in line, that you're doing everything properly, you know, seller's permits, business licenses, getting a CPA, making sure you're doing your taxes right, you know, incorporating my business. And I'm looking into all these different things, and, you know, how am I going to do health insurance that I'm, you know, self-employed, and how am I going to be able to purchase a house or rent a house while I'm self-employed. So there's all these things that start to come up that you have to think about for the future. And I think that honestly has been the hardest part. I mean, there have been lots of challenges, let me tell you, of course, when it comes to the testing and all that kind of stuff. But when I really am thinking about this point in my life, it's really just the struggle of where am I taking it, and how am I going to make sure that I'm still going to be able to do everything that I want to do. And it's just a lot, basically. But yeah, that's probably been the hardest part for me so far in the entire thing, is just moving forward and seeing how real everything is becoming. Next question is interesting. It says, how early is too early to be preparing stocks? I'm assuming you mean, you know, how can you make a candle, and then how long can you let that candle sit before you sell it? I don't know. I feel like there never is really a time that's too early to start prepping. I mean, if you're not going to be opening your shop for a couple years, I probably wouldn't start prepping stock. But if you know that it's going to be probably between 3 to 6 months that you're going to be opening, I don't see an issue with getting started with prepping stock. I'd probably say between 1 to 2 months is probably the earliest that I would probably recommend. Only because I know that candles, we don't really talk about an expiration date with candles, and to be completely honest, I don't know the perfect expiration date for candles. I feel like it probably depends, just because every candle that's made is just a scientific experiment. So it's going to react differently than another formula that you use. But I've heard that 18 to 24 months is pretty typical for the life of a candle. So that's probably what I would recommend is, you know, I wouldn't be making it a year in advance, but I would probably say like a couple months if you want to get it started and start prepping. Next question is, what's your favorite wax? So I'm biased and I really love Soy 10. It's just been the wax that I've been using since the very beginning. I also really love the coconut apricot wax. I really like coconut 83. I'm going to be trying out a bunch of different waxes. I have a video planned of me trying 464 wax for the very first time. because I get a lot of you guys asking me questions about that wax, and I just don't have any experience with it. So I'm going to try that one out. But I'm looking to start trying out different waxes just so I can kind of get my experience up with it. Next question is, what do you think about Shopify? And I freaking love Shopify. Like, I have had nothing but good experiences. Every time I try to reach out to their customer service, it's great. I was able to purchase a custom theme, and even when I had issues with it, I had them walk me through how to change certain things. You can purchase apps and just really customize it so much without creating a website from scratch. I love it. I haven't had any issues with it, and I will continue using it until there's a reason for me not to use it, but so far, so good. Next question is your work stressful? If so, how do you manage stress? Yes. I think it's because I have put myself in a position where I'm online and I'm creating videos and I'm kind of documenting myself as I go along. And that has a lot of, pros and cons to it. And I feel sometimes like I have overwhelmed myself with too many things going on. I'd be so much farther, honestly, you guys, I'd be so much farther along with my business if I wasn't making YouTube videos. But I have this weird desire to teach, and I just really love being able to be in the position that I am right now with like the candle making niche. And I just love it so much that I am able to take time to really focus on YouTube as well as my business. But yeah, it's really hard. I'd probably be doing wholesale right now. I would be kind of, doing a bunch of different things, but I also wouldn't have the opportunities that I also have right now being online and being on YouTube. So in terms of managing stress, I have told myself very recently that I don't have to answer every single question that comes in, every single DM, every single email, every single YouTube comment, every single Facebook message. In the very beginning, I had told myself that I would be the kind of creator that would answer every single question. And that is a lot of pressure. It's a lot more manageable in the beginning, but as I've grown, it's just become absolutely impossible. If YouTube was my only job and if YouTube was the only thing that I was doing, yeah, I would answer a lot more questions. But because I'm also trying to run my business also and some other things that I'm working on the side, it's very, very challenging. So I have to be very self-aware and kind of look at the situation and be like, okay, what is causing me the most stress and how can I, take that down? And that was the main step that really, 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 really has helped me, you guys. It's made a huge difference. And as much as it sucks that I can't answer every single question, I feel like it helps to do these kind of Q&A videos because I can answer all these questions at once and so many more people can see the answers to them. So I will also like to, do yoga. I take baths almost every day. I love baths. I like to just go on Pinterest and look at recipes because it makes me feel happy. So I usually like to look at just any kind of recipes at all that'll be new and exciting, and it kind of gets my mind off work because obviously to me, I don't have a 9-to-5. I have a forever. I don't know what it would be, just all day, every day. I have given myself the permission to take days off, but it's really good to not constantly be on all the time. You kind of have to turn it off every now and then. Okay, so it is 10:47. I'm gonna go check to see if my stuff is ready at the curbside pickup. So I'm gonna try to keep my camera in the same place as I drive over there. Oh my gosh, should I try? Let me try to keep this going while I drive over there. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I don't ever drive and film. I tried to get the little thing to stick on my windshield one time so I could put my iPhone right there, but it was terrible. Oh, that's definitely me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 boxes, those are mine. There they are. Oh, you guys can see, huh? Yeah, right there. Okay, I'll get these pulled up. Okay, let's go finish the Q&A. Yeah, I always feel bad just hanging out in that parking lot right after I pick up my order. It's like, get out, you know, go somewhere else. And I want to just stay there for the next few minutes. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue the Q&A. Okay, so next question is, any tips on wholesale, how to approach a business? So this is something that I have not done yet, and I have answered this question individually to multiple people before, so I'm really glad I get to kind of answer it in this video. This is something that I absolutely want to do. However, I have just been so nervous about the availability of all of my supplies, specifically my jars. That has been the hardest thing, and luckily I was able to pick up my jars today. And I know the next question is, how do you order anything when everything is out of stock? I stock the websites every single day when I am looking to purchase something and try to find out when it's going to be available. When I know when it's going to be available, if they make an announcement, I will set a reminder. I'm on the website on the dot at that time ordering. So I am constantly just stalking websites and checking to see when things are available. But that has been a huge negative in terms of trying to get wholesale clients, because I want to make sure that I'm able to fulfill orders if they need orders done every couple weeks or every month or however the ordering goes. I don't know how that goes. It's probably different depending on where you have your wholesale client. But this is what I would do if I was trying to approach a wholesale client. I would go on Vistaprint and I would create a really cute little brochure of what you offer, your business name, what candles, scents you offer, what they smell like, the different sizes, the different kinds of products that you have. So for me, it would be wax melts, 2 sizes of candles, and also the room sprays, so that they can choose what they want to sell within their retail store. And I would also leave a couple of samples with them along with your business card, the best way to contact you, whether you want them to, call you, text you, email you, whatever it is. That's how I would do it. You always want to make sure that you leave something with them, or even if you're going into their shop, like let's say it's a boutique, shop around, try to talk with the employees that are there. If you find something cute that you like, then purchase it. And while you're at the front, just drop everything off and be like, hey, can you give this to your manager or owner or whoever it is that would accept you into their location, and just kind of go from there. So don't be afraid to walk into stores. I understand being stressed out over it, trust me. But yeah, I just take it one step at a time. Make sure that you have the materials available, because they will ask questions. So if you provide everything for them, they probably won't have any other questions, and they might contact you to do business. So make sure also that on the little brochure you have your pricing too and your minimums. So I know that can be complicated. Check out Jeff Stanley's channel. He has done way more wholesale than I have before, so check out his channel, but that's probably the best that I can do without ever having experience. So I hope that helps you. Next question is, at what temperature do you add the fragrance oil to the wax? So I always add fragrance oil between 185, 190-ish, sometimes even a little bit hotter, and I try to keep it pretty hot when I'm stirring, just to keep it hot enough so that the oil and wax can bind together. In the very beginning, I would add it actually between 160 and 170, but I would notice kind of like a shiny spiderwebby type of look on my candles, and that kind of got me thinking that maybe the fragrance oil isn't binding as well with the wax. So I took the temperature up, and it's been a lot better. Next question is how to clean equipment. I gotta say, you guys, a heat gun has helped me so much. Wax gets on everything, and just taking a heat gun, heating it up, and then wiping off the surface of my counters, of my little microwave stand that I use to put my Presto pot on, because when I pour the wax from my Presto pot into my pouring pitcher, it splashes and it gets everywhere. So wax is everywhere in my apartment. You can just take a heat gun and and then I take some alcohol, wipe it down, and then if you want to take, you know, just like regular cleaning supplies, and depending on what it is. But in terms of like using your pouring pitcher and stuff like that, same thing. It's just a heat gun, alcohol. Those are my go-to when it comes to cleaning equipment. Next question is, hi, why did you get a business attorney? Thank you. I made a whole video on it. I'll link it above for you guys so you guys can check it out, but I just wanted to make sure that I was doing everything right. I want to make sure I was protecting myself. I have a lot of goals and, you know, visions of all these things that I want to accomplish. And I know that that's going to get more complicated. And I just want to make sure that I am legally sound. So that is why I spent the money. And now I'm an S corporation, so I incorporated my business, and I feel a lot more secure in where I am right now. And it's just a personal thing that I just really wanted to take the time and the money to make sure that I am doing everything right. Next question is, when you started your business, did you ever use your home address as a return address? I did. When I was a reseller on eBay for years, I always used my regular address as my return address, and I never had any issues. Same thing with starting my candle business. I never had any issues with it until I did. I don't really want to talk too much about it. Nothing scary happened. So on that day moving forward, I decided to change and get a P.O. box. It's actually a mailing address. It's a business mailing address, I think, because it doesn't say P.O. box. It's an actual address. And I feel so much more comfortable having that. So you're more than welcome. Get a P.O. box as your return address if you don't want to put your actual home address on the shipping label. Okay, so I have two questions. They kind of go hand in hand, but I kind of have a weird answer to them because I was sitting here trying to think about it. So I have, what are some things you would avoid if you had the chance to do it over again? And then, how did you grow your business? Anything not to do, if that makes sense. So I took these two questions kind of together only because I feel like I've let my anxiety control a lot of what I did or what I didn't do. So don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone, and just know that that can hold you back for a really long time. For instance, if you want to start a YouTube channel, if you want to start a TikTok, don't wait until you feel like it's the perfect moment to do it. Start it right now, because I really regret not starting TikTok way back when I had a little chat video. I don't even know how long ago it was, but I was like, I really need to start a TikTok, and that was really before any candle maker had really been on TikTok yet. I think there was maybe a couple. So I was just thinking to myself, like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to post. And now it's really popular. And now I'm trying to, you know, get some momentum on there. So I do regret not getting started on there first. So I guess the biggest thing that I can say is, don't let your fears or anxiety get in the way of you really moving forward with your business and kind of stepping out of your comfort zone to do things that you wouldn't typically do. And again, easier said than done, but that's probably the biggest advice that I can give, because that can hold you back for a really long time, because you're waiting for the perfect time to do things, and there is no perfect time. But today might be the perfect time for you to just get started, make a video if you're wanting to do that. And yeah, that's what I recommend. Next question is, would love to know why you switched to mixing soy 10 with the tart wax. So my idea behind that was to help the candle burn slower. So if you guys have not seen any of my other videos, I personally feel like soy 10 has changed a lot. I feel like whatever formula or whatever they've done with it, it burns. The melt point is lower. So I feel like it burns hotter, it burns faster. So I'm trying to change the formula of it to make sure that it is not burning as fast. So I'm actually right now in the middle of also putting in a little bit of beeswax to really raise that melt point and help it burn slower. So I'm trying the best I can, because the ultimate goal is to actually not have it be a full melt within the first burn. I actually don't want that. I know there's huge, controversial things over that or whatever. But personally, I feel like that yields a better performing candle, and a candle that's not going to get too hot towards the bottom. So I'm fully aware that my candles right now are not perfect. They are not exactly the way that I want them to be. I know that they're good candles, but I know that I can do better, and I'm constantly striving for that. Okay, so I'm gonna have one last question here, and then I'm gonna get out of this parking lot because I feel like it's gonna start getting really loud. But the last question is, what are your goals? And I actually took this question as both. So what are your personal goals, business goals, all those kind of things. So when I really think about what I want to do, I am thinking about in the next 12 months, maybe give myself, between 6 to 15 months, I want my boyfriend and I to be able to move out of our apartment and either probably rent. We don't have the preparation to purchase a house right now. California is absolutely outrageous. I actually think the housing market right now everywhere is pretty crazy, but California has gone up just absolutely insane. So I know that it's not going to get any better. It's just going to keep going up. So I would prefer to get a house sooner rather than later. But again, because I'm self-employed, it does become really hard because I really want to make sure that the money I'm making right now is not going to drastically go down in the next year. So that's why we've kind of been wanting to wait and see what my income is looking like. So that is just kind of a goal to be very diligent with finances and making sure that I have those in order for, potentially moving out of our apartment and renting a house, getting more space. I just want more space. And also for my business, I feel like I've already done a lot so far in 2021. I mean, I opened up my own website and I incorporated my business. So those are already some goals that are really cool to have achieved so far this year. And it is now the beginning of April, almost the middle of April. So that's really cool. I also, as you guys have always known, I really, really want to do wholesale. So I really just need to go and source my jars overseas so that I know that I can order a lot more jars, have all of those in stock, and I don't have to worry about constantly waiting on one supplier for the jars. And I know all this is going to take a lot of money. So I think that the hardest part for me right now is just what am I willing to sacrifice and spend to really grow my business, but also make sure that I have enough money to take from the business to pay my bills. So that's been the hardest thing. And how much house can we afford? And it's very complicated right now. I know this is kind of going off on a tangent, but hi, welcome to my channel. So I think that doing wholesale, so being able to get into retail locations is a huge goal of mine. That is something that I want to be the primary focus of my business because online sales, as much as I love them so much, it does become very time consuming with constantly packaging up each order. And I feel like when I think about scaling my business, wholesale is definitely the way to go. So getting into retail locations. And I also have some really cool goals for later on this year for the candle making community. So I've been working on some stuff since September of last year. So I'm really excited for that. But I think I'm going to end today's video right here. I'm going to go into Albertsons and get some food, some snacks for the drive home. Try to edit this video, get it up tonight. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed listening to me answer your guys' questions. If you don't already, follow me on Instagram. That's where I mainly, will ask you guys some questions, your feedback on things, questions for Q&A, stuff like that. But I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to leave this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.